our teen sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Welcome to Teen Sports Radio, where every week we celebrate the incredible potential of young people and the adults who believe in them. I'm your host, Erica, and whether you're an athlete, a parent, a coach, a teacher, simply somebody who wants to help the next generation thrive, okay, we are so happy and we are so blessed that you were with us today. We've got a wonderful lineup today, and we have a returning co-host. He's actually my practitioner. Brian Folk is in the house. Acupuncture. Dr. Brian Folt. I'm sorry. Doctor. He's a double D doctor. How you doing, Dr. Folt?
I'm well. Thanks, Erica. Good to be back.
Yes, it was so nice. Yes, he's going to be returning. He promises me at least once a month. Woo! Once a month. This is what we want to do. We're going to start off with him today to educate us a little about acupuncture. I've been a lifelong acupuncture patient. Okay, I just loved it. That was always my go-to when I was off. And I love it when I first met Brian through Namita, owner of Namita's Cuisine and other co-hosts. Brian always says it's perfect because, Western medicine, a couple of 100 years old, acupuncture, 2,000 years old.
More than that.
4,000 years old, whatever calendar you want to go by. And it's true, too, because I have stories. I'll share it. I'll wait and I'll share it. But we also have in the house this week, Emily Yurchison is here, and she'll be sharing a beautiful message called Unlimited Worth, Composing a Life You Want to Live. I'm super excited about that. We're also going to have a visit from Ryan Quirk. He's back with another outstanding self-mastery segment, The Power of Non-Doing. Ryan is a great story just within himself. I mean, he's truly grown up on Teen Sports Radio. We watched him grow from a teenager, college student, author. Now he's preparing to graduate and going to be writing another book here soon. It's fun in psychology. So it's a privilege, to be able to sit back and watch his journey today. And he's going to remind us something that is a great time. As far as reflection goes, he's going to teach us how to rest. That's going to be his mindfulness training today, is how to rest as a teen athlete. So then we've got Don Sanders. I'm looking at him. Hey, Don.
Hey.
You're sporting those guns. I like that shirt.
Oh, it's a hot one here in Ohio today.
Yeah. All right. You're going to do some flexing. Look at those muscles. Somebody's working out. Got the guns back for sure. Anyway, what are you
physical life.
There you go. What are you going to talk about today?
About getting out of your own way.
Oh, getting out of your own way. I like that. This show today is going to be magical. I'm really excited.
By the way, I understand getting out of your own way does not require a restraining order. Okay?
No.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, let's bring some legalese into it. You know how I love that.
Yeah.
You know how I love that, Dr. D. Hey, Dominique, let's go around the room. I'll start with you. Who do you want to give some love to?
This is a funny one. I currently can't eat ice cream, but I want to tell teens about McConnell's ice cream. Oh my gosh, I have such great memories of when they were on State Street. And what I used to do is I used to get a little pint of ice cream and then walk down State Street and just walk and talk and just have a great time. But McConnell's is our own little ice cream place. So if you have not been there, it's a wonderful place. And I think they have frozen yogurt. They have lots of different things, but it's a wonderful treat.
Yeah, it's funny when you look around and you find out that like the Dairy Queens and the McDonald's, like all these places which promote like ice cream, it's not ice cream. It's like, what? It's like it's not real anymore. So you have to really look at it. Okay, so I'm just saying, look at it.
McDonald's is high quality.
Oh, the best. It's nice. It's nice to have a go-to place. Don Sanders, who do you want to give some love to?
I'll give some love to the Duchess restaurant in downtown Ojai that in the morning has coffee and nice pastries and then has yummy food in the evening for dinner. And lots of people who come in from out of town that I've recommended go there have been satisfied.
Nice. All right, Brian Falk in Ventura knows a lot about Santa Barbara, and he's born and raised in Carpinteria. I think it's still the safest beaches in the country. Who you want to give some love to?
I'd like to give some love to Bell Arts Factory on Ventura Avenue. They've been there for about 20 years. They rent out it used to be an old mattress factory, but they're an important part of the community, especially on the west side. They have a lot of community events like El Dia de los Muertos and flamenco dancing, everything from after-school art programs to city council meetings. So the Bell Arts Factory, it's in a very unassuming building, but they're a stronghold in particularly the Latino community in the west side of Ventura. My daughter goes there every Wednesday afternoon for Spanish arts and crafts. So it's a very important hub that's been there and continues to serve the community.
Beautiful. That sounds. Is it a nonprofit?
It is.
Nice. All right, we got to talk after the show. Let's give them some extra love. You know what I'm saying? Got to give them some extra love. So yeah, my love is going to be to Vanessa and Jay at Rainwater in Santa Barbara. I had a little hiccup last week on my water softener, and first thing I'm like, oh, I talked to because it was before hours, so I talked to I just like the service. You get to actually talk to somebody. You don't have to go online. You don't have to book appointments. So I talked to the service, and then immediately at 8:00, somebody called me. It was wonderful, and by 9:00, it was remedied and fixed. It was delightful. I love that. Guy Jay walked out of here with 2 Cokes in the glass, Mexican Cokes. He goes, only the best, ice cold, but he saved me. So I want to thank Jay and thank Vanessa. This was delightful. All right, so everybody hold on. We've got a big show. We've got Brian Falk in the house right after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Thanks again for having me back, Dr. D and Erica. As you know, my profession being Chinese medicine, acupuncture is one of the primary modalities used. And over the last 15 years, I've seen quite a lot of teen athletes. Right now, I have a woman who she's a young woman who's been playing softball for many years and been having some knee problems. So she's been coming in, getting acupuncture done on her knee, and that's helping her get back to playing. But I've had football players with kinked necks. I've had volleyball players with hamstring and hip stuff. So it's a great tool for muscular skeletal stuff, but also for stress and anxiety that often comes with athletic performances or school pressures as well. I have a couple teenagers that come in for depression and anxiety, and acupuncture does great for that. And even for some that aren't keen on the needles, I don't always have to do needles. Sometimes I just do some body work. So there's different approaches, but acupuncture in itself is a great tool, and it's been wonderful to be able to work with kids and teens over the years, not just middle-aged adults, which I see more often than not. For all kinds of different health problems, but the teen athletes are great to work with. So for those out there that might need some extra help, I'm in Ventura and happy to help.
In Ventura?
Yes, I am.
Oh, what's your address?
I'm right downtown, Don, on Santa Clara and Palm.
Oh, Santa Clara and Palm. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, does anybody Don, do you have any questions?
How about does acupuncture help with getting overheated in heat waves?
It does. Yeah. Yeah, it's been hot. There are some really good points. It's a couple in the back of the neck. One of the quickest ways to drain heat if somebody's got a lot of heat in the upper part of the body, and you guys can do this at home too, is the apex of the ear, the tip of the ear. You just fold it, and right at the top there, just take one of those little lancets that you would prick your finger for like diabetics, and they sell them at the drugstore, and prick the top of the ear, and it'll bleed. Squeeze out some of the blood. It's one of the fastest ways to drain heat in the body. So if somebody's overly heating, just prick the top of the ear.
Wow. Okay.
Speaking of ear, okay, since you set me up perfect.
There you go.
For all those people that swim, okay, and got a little water in the ear, this has already happened to me, and Brian's fixed it a number of times. So I have to go back down to him and just a special visit because it never comes out. And I went in the pool, I got water in it, and as soon as I just immediately thought of Brian, but what I did last time is I let it go for a month and month and month, and that's not the smartest thing to do, actually. But it was so funny because he said he could fix it, whatever. And I wasn't the big believer. And I don't know why, because he fixed me for everything that I've ever needed. He's been amazing. But I guess I just wanted to hold on to this not being able to hear out of one ear. Maybe there's things I don't want to hear. I don't know. It all depends how you map the world. That being said, did his thing. Everything is fine. Go down, and all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you. I think I hit Linden and Carp. Pop. I'm like, oh, you could ask Dominique. I was so happy. Oh my God. Thank you, Brian. So now I got the same ear, same thing. So we're going to have to make an appointment after the show because it's just so annoying. But for kids and parents, and explain the filaments because people get all freaked out. My daughter-in-law, my oldest son's wife, I said, do you have acupuncture? She's never been to acupuncture. And it's like, the needles freak her out. And I said, first of all, let's get that out of out of your word. It's not a needle. Okay. Explain what it is.
You like to use the word filament. It's just a very, very thin stainless steel filament about as thin as your hair. And so when you insert them in the body, either you don't feel them or you feel a tiny little sensation. A couple points might hurt for a second, but it's nothing like getting a shot at the doctor's office. It's completely different. So I think the fear of needles is understandable, but I found most people who are trepidatious with needles do fine with acupuncture and are surprised that they don't even feel it or feel minimal. And it might be even a good way to get over one's needle phobia because it's actually quite relaxing, despite your sense that it would be painful or uncomfortable. So,
well, I can tell you from firsthand experience. Brian has actually given me, it's been a while, an acupuncture treatment. It was some years ago, and if you're just lying there and you're relaxed, in many instances you don't feel a thing.
Yeah, no, the best one. This was with Brian, but I've gone to acupuncture since the 80s. Anyway. First time I ever I played every single day. I played racquetball, right? I was playing with my neighbor. He's a young kid. And anyway, I don't know why I got frustrated. I just threw the goggles off. Anyway, the next shot he hit, of course, whacked me right in the eye. Right. So, of course, I'm not going to not continue to play. And I did. And I used that as a source to beat him because I was so angry with him and myself because that's just sheer stupid. Anyway, what had happened out of that? So, periodically, like every 6-7 hours, my eye would just start watering, like not blinking, nothing. And I just started watering, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I went to Mary Scran, and I couldn't believe it. She went down to my toe, put something, and just started twisting it. And my eye tooth, I was like, ah! I got to say, it wasn't fun. All right. But it was only like maybe 5-6 seconds. And then all of a sudden, but you knew that this whole area, because it was connected, so whatever nerve that was connected to my eye tooth. Okay. She pulled it out of my toe. How she did all this, I don't know. And I was cured, healed again. So again, if you haven't had like a half a dozen of those things for 40 years, you're not going to get it. But I would really recommend anybody. And I think my kids' first acupuncture, because I had a chiropractor too, because those were our doctors. Dr. Schroeder just retired, but my kids were a standing appointment after football every Friday. I mean, that's what we did. And then acupuncture, 2 acupuncturists, Mary Scoran, and then she moved, and then you, Bri. And it's an alternative way to look at things. And I'm not negative on any Western medicine doctors or anything like that, but your body will tell you what you need when you need it. That's all I can say. But the suggestion to parents, I would highly recommend giving your kids, because they're not going to get there on their own. They don't drive. Okay. But to get them the experience is kind of cool. So I so have appreciated your friendship, Bri, and your love after all, like probably over 15 years now. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been great. knowing you and working with you, Erica.
Aw, loving you. Loving you all day. Dr. D, can you come up with a question?
Well, basically, what can you tell us about the history of acupuncture? Because I know a lot of people would like to know. The thing I love about Chinese medicine, for example, is the fact that it's been around for over 5,000 years. There's been no FDA because they just knew that it worked. Can you talk to us a little bit about its origins?
That's a good question. That's an excellent question, Dr. D.
You're right that it's been around for a very long time, and naturally it's evolved over a very long period of time. The beginnings are not entirely known, as you can imagine, being that old, but there's some evidence of what might have occurred, and it has to do with the consciousness of the times, which was magic and mythical. And I think at 2,000 to 5,000 years ago, people believed in evil spirits and demons and many gods. It was a polytheistic mentality. And there's evidence that the origins of acupuncture had to do with the shaman running through the village, trying to clear away evil spirits with a spear. The character for acupuncture has a spear in it, and also the shui, the character for acupuncture, has a pictograph for a hole or a grave or a pit. So there's an element of a dead person. So I think it has its origins in shamanistic medicine of transposing, clearing evil spirits in the village to now putting pins into somebody's person to get rid of the evil spirits that may be afflicting the person with health problems. So there's a lot of evidence that was the very early origins of acupuncture.
Mm.
Yeah, but then moving forward, right? It's because it was created. It was Chinese, right? Was it Chinese or no?
It was Chinese. Yeah.
Okay, so then because
you have cross pollination of many cultures over time too. So it seeped into Korea, Japan, and elsewhere. Like every thing throughout history has been cross pollinated. But yeah, I think the origins are in China. And during those thousands of years, it evolved from bones and different kinds of metals to what we see now is, really thin stainless steels. But you go to the museums in China or many of the medical schools, and they'll have old acupuncture needles that are very thick, very, very different than what you see now. But just the philosophy changed too, the idea that it went from evil spirits causing illness to the wind causing illness to a disruption of qi, which is in the body due to diet and emotions. That evolved over a long period of time.
Beautiful. Hey, so how do we get a hold of you? Because I know after people have listened to you today, they're going to want to check you out. How do they do that?
You can email me at drbrianfalk@gmail. You can call me 805-223-0915 or visit my website, unifiedmedicine.com.
Beautiful. And you're going to be, you're going to be my appetizer once a month, you promised. And you gave me a pinky swear. So yay. All right. I see in the house, Ryan Quirk. He's got class, so we got to get out of here. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, welcome back, Teen Sports Radio listeners. My name is Ryan, here with another self-mastery story, self-mastery segment. And today I want to talk about the power of non-doing. In the recent series of segments that I've done on these self-mastery topics, I've integrated a little bit of Eastern philosophy, kind of some Taoist and Buddhist ideas, because they're the same ideas that a lot of elite athletes and martial artists apply to reach a state of peak performance. And so today I want to talk about the power of non-doing and rest. In many segments I've talked about discipline, disciplining the mind, calming the mind, disciplining the body. But today I want to talk about the power of rest and of non-doing, non-action, which is also sometimes referred to as Wu Wei or effortless action. And today I want to talk about it in relationship to my sport of hockey and some things that I've kind of learned through my years of being a competitive hockey player. So when I was a freshman in high school, I had made the varsity team, recovered from a broken arm injury, and was still really struggling to put up the kind of point totals and just the performances that I would really like to, especially in games. I was having great practices. I felt like I was in great shape, and I didn't know what the blockage might have been. And so naturally, like any time that we might be dealing with a challenge or a problem, I thought to myself, let me try to do as much as I possibly can to get it back. So I started practicing twice as hard, practicing more, staying late, which is beneficial in many cases. Working hard and putting in the extra time and the extra minutes is good. But in this case, it was actually kind of the wrong approach. What I was really doing is, as I was putting in more physical work, I was stressing out my mind more and more and rooting in deeper the negative belief that I'd somehow lost my spark. And so no matter how hard I pushed or tried, that kind of negative belief system was still there, and I was still overthinking a lot. I was thinking, if only I could tweak my skating angle 15 degrees or get a little bit lower bend here. And so I was obsessing over all of these details in attempts to just get back to playing the hockey that I knew that I could play, and it was actually working against me. I was way too involved in my mind. I was too focused on the details, and this actually prevented me from reaching a natural state of flow, from reaching a natural state of just flow, and that natural state that you get into once you hit the ice or hit the court or hit the field, whatever sport you may play, where you can kind of just let the world tune out and just play your game. It would be really distracting if you were a soccer player, for instance, and every single stride had to think to yourself, left foot 15 degrees to the right foot, okay, make sure to remember to breathe and do this and do that. If you were constantly thinking about every motion, you could barely move out there. It's only when our minds are calm and we're not actually trying so hard, we're still putting forth our best, but we're not trying so hard to perfect every movement, that the amazing intelligence that's within our bodies and our minds naturally moves just effortlessly. We perform amazing skill moves and take amazing shots and read plays on the field in milliseconds just from allowing our minds to kind of be calm. And so I also remember when I had broken my arm and I was trying to get back, and I was so excited to get back for the season that I was like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Every little PT workout, finger stretching program, thing like that, I was doing it, and I was recovering kind of slowly. My arm had not gone back to full health, and I remember talking to this PT guy who I was working with, and he said, have you ever thought about just resting it? I know you're trying to you're just trying to get it back so quick and do all these fancy exercises and all these fancy stretching things and stuff like that. Have you ever thought about just laying off, just once or twice a week, doing those movements and just letting it actually heal? And that's when I also realized this other valuable lesson, which relates to what I'm talking about today, that the quickest way to build something that lasts is slowly. The quickest way to heal from a concussion is slowly. The quickest way to get back to your best self is to be patient with yourself in that process. Take the time, go slow, and you'll actually find that you accelerate because you're not frantic, you're not missing anything, you're not hyperfixating on unimportant details. You're allowing yourself the natural timeline. I think that's something that we all struggle with from time to time, is impatience. And obviously it can be incredibly frustrating if you're dealing with an injury, even if, let's say, like, you're in between jobs. If you're in the working world, you're in between jobs, it can be frustrating waiting on that call back, waiting to get back into something. But the quickest way to get back into something is slowly. It's to make sure that we're taking our time, integrating properly, and enjoying the journey as well. And when I finally kind of slowed down, actually gave my arm some proper rest, just did the workouts that the PT guy assigned, I got back much quicker. My arm started to heal. I was giving myself proper rest, and I was giving myself a mental break to focus on other things. And so, just as we have to learn the art of doing, and we have to learn the art of putting forth our best effort, being consistent, it's also important to learn the art of non-doing, or effortless action, or resting, even, just to put it even more simply, which is we need to know when we need to give our minds, our bodies a break to actually rest and recover and heal. And I know this and see this all the time as a personal trainer working with people who are in the gym. You don't grow muscles in the gym. You go to the gym to lift the weight and it tears the muscle fiber down only when you're sleeping, when you're relaxing, when you're resting on the couch, when you're going for a walk with a friend, is your body actually going into the state of repairing that muscle tissue. So you actually don't grow in the gym, you grow outside of the gym. And it's the same thing for our minds and for sports. Our minds don't actually, they finalize the new neural connections we make when we're learning a task once we're away from the task. So if you spend 30 minutes practicing, let's say, a new language, it's actually only after the 30-minute study session, when you take a break, go for a walk, do something else, that the brain finalizes those neural patterns, that the brain finalizes those patterns of connection in what you just learned. So just as it's important to master the art of doing, master the art of non-doing, and as the Buddha says, because I really enjoy the Buddhist teachings, take the middle way. Take the middle way. The middle way does not mean you stand still. The middle way is a dynamic equilibrium in which you are giving yourself the balance of proper discipline and proper rest. You are knowing when to step on the gas and knowing when to step on the brake, because if you were in a car that only had a gas pedal and no brake system, that car would quickly crash. But if you had a car with only a brake system and no gas pedal, that car is not going anywhere. So find the middle way in your life, and give your mind a break, your body a break, and master the art of non-doing. This is very important for athletes. Even Kobe Bryant, who was known for obsessive training and, going like 6 hours a day and all these recovery specialists and everything he had, he would take time and he would go visit Buddhist monasteries and go talk with the monks and take silent retreats and things of that nature. So learn when you need both, and tune into that inner guidance, that still small voice within, and learn the art of both doing and non-doing. If you enjoyed this self-mastery segment, this self-mastery story, you can find more of my work at RQ, that's my initials RQ for Ryan Quirk, rqselfmastery.com. There you can find my book, my services, some more information about me, and I hope whoever is listening has a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for listening to Teen Sports Radio. This is Ryan. Have a wonderful day.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Emily the Songbird with another episode of Teen Tones. Today, our topic is unlimited worth, composing the life only you can live. Recently, I was looking through family photos and I realized a lifelong story. The story is, no matter what picture I saw from the very beginning of my life, I had composed in my head and in my energy that I have limited worth, that just by being me, that I'm not enough. And so I would try all these different things to bring worth to my experience, right? I became an athlete and eventually, a good, strong track athlete, and, how I dressed or, my performances of things, I did them because I wanted to feel better about myself, not because that was just an expression about who I am. But as I look back through all these chapters of my life, the funny pictures with the braces and the glasses from second grade and the bowl cut, and, my athletic pictures and my awards and all of this, that I recognize, and this is true, teens, for all of you, is that my worth never changed. It was the belief about it that did. And so this is the work as you are in this, summertime where you get to be free and playful and explore lots of, freeing things, about yourself. You also get to kind of prepare to get yourself, ready for the next school year. And what kind of energy and beliefs you want to bring into this year. And so the scoreboard that never ends is the idea that athletes, musicians, and students often, like I, tie their worth to performance. Achievement matters, right? It is important to do your best, whether that's your schoolwork or your, athletics and sports, in your family responsibilities, to be a good friend, all of this, but it does not create your worth. It's a way to express it. And so I also heard something that today about that, being kind to strangers is one thing that shows your image, but being kind and compassionate and working through those difficult things with the people that you love, that really shows your character, the depth of you. So the sun doesn't earn the right to shine. The sun shines because it is the sun. You have an inner sun in all of you teens. It's that solar plexus. It's that the center of your being. And just like in the summer, the sun just wakes up and shines, and you have the opportunity to shine your light and your life every single day. A flower blooms because it is a flower, and every flower is unique in its colors, in its shapes, and so are you. Your value comes from who you are, just by being you, not comparing yourself to others, and you get to compose your life. So every decision is a note. Every habit has a rhythm. Every friendship is part of the harmony. Your greatest masterpiece is the life you compose. I have a suggestion of 3 practices to play with this week. And the first one is to speak to yourself like someone you love. I'm in this beautiful new relationship, and that's part of why I was looking through family photos. He wanted to see me, all the way from being a little girl with pigtails to, now who I am, who are the people that really matter to me, all the different awkward, stages and the beautiful stages and chapters of my life. And so, but what I am being reminded of is, the love that we have for ourselves. It's so important every day to remind ourselves to speak out loud, that you are your your best friend. You are the one. The way you talk to yourself like someone that you love, not someone that you criticize, not someone that, you always have to get it right, to say the right thing, or, so do that with gentleness, with kindness, with compassion. And then number 2, celebrate the effort more than the outcomes. Every time you give it a go, every time you take a risk, celebrate that in, sweet, small ways, whatever that is. Give yourself those, those accolades for showing up, for being who you truly are. And then number 3, begin each day saying, I have nothing to prove today. I have something to contribute. You are the gift. You are the song. And how is it that you can share that? How can you be part of this beautiful symphony of being alive? Because music is about vibration, and we all hold this unique, beautiful energy. So in closing, you are more than your grades, your sports, your mistakes, or your fears. You are a human being before a human doing. If music, songwriting, piano, guitar, creativity sparks to your heart, I'd love to help you discover your own unique song. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the song only you can sing. This is Emily the Songbird. Wishing you a magical, musical, and miraculous day. Many blessings.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
For Teen Sports Radio, I'm Don Sanders, donsmassageohio.com, 805-236-2684. I'm here to bring you a hygge, a Scandinavian term for a comfy, cozy feeling akin to receiving a hug without actually receiving a physical hug. And I'm going to return to a subject that I know if you're a frequent listener, you probably heard me approach it before, but I'm going to approach it again. My subject today, getting out of your own way. And nobody knows what the future will be like. Nobody knows the exact answer to that question. But wisdom dictates that the effects that will appear in the future are contained in the causes we're all making now, causes of thoughts, words, and actions that we're making in the present. The important thing then is that we take a deep breath and we muster up our courage and take action to overcome. We all have, some people will say they never experience any fear or doubt. I don't believe it. So we have to overcome our fears and doubts and set some targets or something for us to reach for. And so it can be really simple. Like if you're taking a walk, say hello to a stranger on your walk, or find something to praise them for no good reason. Like, oh, nice dog you're walking there, or whatever, So the point is to move your focus from the self, which we all kind of get locked up with many, many times, to the future or, to the world. You can ponder the future, even if you can't see what it's going to be exactly. So there was this German Swiss Army knife of skills, talents, a writer, philosopher, etc., Goethe. He was 18th and 19th century. And he talked about how to begin something, to begin it, is the most important thing you can do. Whatever you can dream of you can do or dream of doing, to begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And I know that I've referred to this gentleman before, but one of my favorite 20th century musicians, Taj Mahal, sang, "Remember the feeling as a child when you woke up and morning smiled. It's time you felt that way again. And come with me, leave your yesterdays behind, and take a giant step outside your mind. There is no percentage in remembering the past. It's time you learn to live again and love at last." Or as Rafiki said in the Disney Lion King video that my kids used to watch, "It doesn't matter. It's in the past."
Oh, awesome. That's a beautiful thing. Funny. Know what I liked what you said to begin with when you're walking past somebody? I started swimming again because I'm all cleared. Erica's back. So I started swimming again. Of course, that's where I got the water in the air. Not too happy about that. But when I show up,
ouch.
I always give eye contact, right? When I walk into a place,
Yeah.
always give eye contact. And the first thing that I say when somebody greets me or whatever like that, I say the same thing every single day. And now I'm having people say it back to me. Just another day in paradise. Because it's so beautiful here in Santa Barbara. And it's funny, just that statement. I mean, it wasn't to them, it wasn't for them, but it's just a general statement. It makes them stop and look and smile and wake up and, wherever they were, now they're back in their body for sure. So I love that. I love that because I get just as much, if not more, out of it looking at the response.
Yeah.
Looking at the response. So it's a good thing. That was a great segment, Dawn. Thank you.
And you're overlapping gratitude there too, which is a good thing.
Yeah. You have to. You just you've got to. I wake up ever so grateful because I've had a rocky road. I mean, definitely, I would say it's been a healing journey, and I got past it. But holy cow, it was definitely a bumpy road.
Yeah, and many people didn't wake up again this morning.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It is true. All right. As we wrap up another edition of T Sports Radio, remember that every champion starts with one decision: to show up, keep learning, and never stop believing that anything out there is possible. Okay. I wanted to give a special thanks to our incredible home, KCSB AM 1290 and FM 96.9, for believing in local programming and giving teen athletes a voice on our community hour. So from all of us here to T Sports Radio, I'm Erica, the Queen of Teen. Keep competing with character, lead with kindness, dream big, and we'll see you next week. Until then, have an amazing, amazing week in Santa Barbara. God bless y'all.